This conference will now be recorded.
Let me share my screen. Oh, 1 second. Okay. Okay. So what were we discussing? Do you remember, guys? Rajesh, what were we discussing? Do you remember?
Sir, you do something in model section.
Admin module,
Yes.
right? And we were trying to add a new table, okay, in admin module by extending the existing table. Okay. So existing we had user table and we wanted to create user profile table. So which will, like for example, if you want to save details, right? Now to save details, we don't want to create a new table. I mean, anyway, old table is existing, like for saving name, um, like user ID, password, etc. Right? But we also want to add, let's say, a profile photo, right? So to add profile photo, okay, we cannot add, we can't add profile photo currently. Okay, currently the admin model doesn't allow us to add. So what we are doing is we are trying to, okay, we are trying to add a table with column, okay, where we will add this profile table. Okay, so if you go to models, okay, and in models we were trying to add a new table called user profile. Okay, and in user profile we are extending. So user is the old table, isn't it? So you're saying user equal to models dot one to one field. One to one is the relationship. Okay, so you can say create relationship between user and user profile info tables. Okay, so you're saying models dot one, what kind of relation? One to one field. Okay, so these are the options. One to one, right? One to one relationship. Okay, object does not exist. So many to one. So one to many, many to one. So we are going to create one to one. For every user in user table, we will have one column here in the profile table. Okay, so this will have user, comma. Then what happens when you delete? Okay, so on delete cascade. That means if somebody deletes in the user table, here also automatically the data will be deleted. So let's say if you want to delete a user, user profile will also delete the data. Okay, so we say cascade. Cascade means whatever happens there, same information, same action will be taken here also. Okay, so it will get deleted. Okay, so on deletion cascade. Okay, now we need to add the column for this table, right? I'm going to say add new column here to store photos. Okay, see photos, it cannot be stored in database. It will be stored on the or in the on the file itself, server. Okay, but the information will be saved. Okay. Yes. Then what do we do?
Sir, you take a image field.
Sorry.
In a, you
So
add
let's say
another column image field.
I call photo site. Okay, I call photo site. Okay, and here I will say models.url. Okay, because here we will save the URL link. We are not saving the data. So to save data, we know how to create, right? We have done it before, right? But here we are not creating a column. Here we will store the URL, right? So we are going to say models dot. See, we have char field, date field, right? Similarly, you have URL field here. Okay, in URL field, can it be blank? Yes. Okay, it's not mandatory to upload your photos, so we can say blank is possible. Okay. Okay. Now this photo photo set, right? I'll say profile pic. Okay, so here it will have models dot image field. Okay, we'll upload image here. So here we will say upload to. Upload to what? Okay, so upload to the path we will mention, and here we'll say blank equal to true. Okay, blank is possible, right? Okay, now let's see here. So this is our basic app, isn't it? Okay, I need to create a folder where all the profiles will be saved. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's go and create, okay, a folder called static. Okay, so let's say we'll call it as media, maybe. Okay, where we put all the media files. Okay, so this is basic app. Okay, so I'm going to create a folder here. Just like you create folder for template, right? You have to create a folder and then you have to register it, isn't it? So I'm going to create a folder called media. Let's say, okay, I'll store all the media here, right? In media, I will create one folder to store profile pics. Okay, so all these will be on the server, isn't it? So I'm going to say new folder, and I will call it as say profiles, or profile pics, something like that. Okay, so the profile pics will be stored here. Okay, so this is it. Now we need to register this, isn't it? We need to register this. Okay, so we'll go to, we'll come back here in some time. Any question there?
Sir, we want to register in admin block now, sir. Means registered
Yes.
admin dot registered
Awesome.
class
Yes.
name.
So, correct. So first we need to call this the views, right, which we created. So I'm going to say from current location. Okay. So from models import user, comma, user profile info. Okay, and now we will register. So what was that? Admin.site. Okay, we are registering in admin. Correct? So admin.site dot register. Okay, and the register what? User profile info. Okay, now, okay, we need to go and do some, in the settings also we have to change, isn't it? Okay, settings where the static URL we had, right? Last time we did static. Here we'll add media URL. Okay, wherever you have media could be your image, audio, video. Okay, so I'm going to say media underscore URL. Okay, equal to what? Media. Media is the folder that we have created, isn't it? Media. Right? And okay, and what is the media root folder? Okay, so we will come back here and say we will give the path. Okay, so we'll say import OS. Okay, we'll give the OS path. So we'll say media root, which is the root folder. So it is os.path. Okay, dot join. Join what? The base directory. So what is the base directory? Base directory is the app, right? Basic app. And here I will add a base directory. Okay, and add what folder? Media folder, right? We created media folder. Same spelling. If you have done capital, you have to be capital. Okay, so I think this is ready. Okay, now we will go and continue updating the path. Right, we have not added a path there, right? So in the models, so here we will say upload to. Okay, upload to what? So see, till media it is already covered in the settings. So in media, what we have, which folder we have? Profile pics. Correct? So we'll say profile pics. Okay, till media we added in settings, right? And we also registered with admin.
Okay, sir.
Right? Okay, so I think this part is completed. Now we will add a thing, information. If you want to add any information, so we'll say def, okay, underscore underscore str underscore underscore, okay, and okay, and if somebody calls this, we will say return self dot user dot username. We want username to be returned. Please username only the attribute, okay. Oh, I think you capital, right? That's the problem. Right? Username is the column name, right? So okay, so this is it. So we have done this model. Okay, we added in this, we registered this in the admin model. We updated in the settings. Okay, now we are ready to. Okay, so from backend we are ready, right? But how do we handle from front end? How will a user enter? So we create a form. We create a form. Using form, we will upload photo. Okay. So to create a form, okay, let's go to this is our basic app, right? So we'll just like you have models, apps, right? I'm going to create a forms.py. Okay. So for forms, we'll create a form here. Just like we created views, we'll create a form here. Okay. So now, first of all, to make it a form, you have to import forms from Django. So we're going to say from Django import forms. Okay. So forms. So this will we can create a form here. Now we need to import user and the user profile info, right? So user is from contrib, right? Django contrib inbuilt. Dot auth dot models. Okay, so this is from where we will import user, and user profile info is what we created, right? So it will be in the models, right? So from current models, okay, there could be multiple models, right? Each app will have a model. So what this says is from the current app, okay, even if you have 10 apps, okay, the model from the current app from where you are calling, we are interested to look into that model only. Okay, so import user profile info. This is also done. Okay, now we need to create the classes. We need to create the forms basically, right? Okay, so you'll have user form, okay, where we will take username, email, and password, which will go to user table, and we'll create one more class, user profile pics, from where we will take the profile and put it in the profile user profile info table. Okay, so we create two classes. Class user, let's call it a user form. Okay, now this will be linked to forms. Okay, model form. Okay, so this is how the form will be created. Okay, so here we will ask the user to enter password. Okay, okay. So let's say we use password equal to forms dot careful. Okay, so this is to enter password. Okay, careful, and we will call the widget. For each thing there is a widget. Okay, so widget, because password we cannot accept as a text field, isn't it? So we will call forms dot password input. Okay, so password input will take the password input. Okay, so we'll create a password input field, and we are reading that. Okay, so this is it. Now we have to call a class meta inside this. Okay, then I'm going to say model equal to user and fields equal to which all fields we want. We want here you'll have three fields: username, then email, then password. These are the field in admin module. So this our user class is done, user profile. Now we'll call user profile info form, right? So class user profile info form. Okay, and this will be okay. So again models form, sorry, forms dot model form. Okay, and here we will give this thing. Okay, we'll use class meta, and we'll have one form which is Okay, so this is user profile info, isn't it? So which model you are using in this form info, and here we will have the two variables which we added, the site and the photo site and profile bit. Photo site and the profile bit. These two columns here. Hopefully, I think we are done. Now we have to push all the changes to the database, isn't it? So let's do it. So first we will migrate. So I'm going to say Python manage.py space migrate. We need to create four HTML form also, right? Login, registration, HTML form, which will be linked to the, okay. No migrations to apply, okay. Okay, which is good. Now let's do make migration. Make migrations, and we did it in basic app, right? Let's call only basic app. Yeah. So create model. So user profile model is created. Now let's do migrate. The code is created. Now this is applied to the database. So it is applied to the database. The database is created and the Python codes are created. Now you have to create a UI field. Okay. UI field to enter all these things, isn't it? So
So you created a registration form,
we created a
user registration form.
no, I didn't get you. You can register. Yes, yes. But where will it appear? Correct. Where will it appear? So we have to create all the template, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So we created the user form, but it has to appear, right? So if you go back to this, we created inside website. Okay. Now go for monthly challenge. Okay. So monthly challenge, if you go, if you see, we created static page here. What did you put in static? With CSS. So let's say we can create static and CSS templates, isn't it? So here again, what we'll do, we will create static. Okay, if you want to give CSS, but static code is already there, right? So we'll create static. Okay, now we create what? Template. Okay, so we create directory template. Okay, inside template, we will create our base.html. Okay, we'll create base.html, we'll create login.html, index.html, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So in template, let's go. You can create another folder, right? We don't want to create for now, but you can create multiple folders to group similar HTML files. So here we'll create base.html. Okay, and let's add some code here. We're going to close admin forms models for now. Let's put, yeah. So okay, so anyway, this is base file. Okay. So what do we do here? We will have, I'm just thinking, okay. So let's have here code for registered user and non-registered user. Okay. So in body, we will put our first code here. Okay. This is comment. So I'm going to say home link. Okay, so let's say Django home, right? And let's say admin. Okay, let's say register. Okay. Okay, so here let's add those links. Okay, so okay, so how do we create that block? We create block using okay, say a, right, href equal to, okay, href equal to, now we will give the link. Okay, so I'm going to use, okay, inside this we'll put URL for index. Okay, so I'm going to say index, is this correct? ahref, then in bracket you give the DTL code, right? Okay, we have to add URL here. URL, okay? URL index. Perfect. Now we will close it. Close it, and here we will say home. Right. So this is home. Similarly, let's create path for admin and register also. So we need to create 3 HTML file, right? Index, okay. Admin, let's say. You can add CSS later, okay? I'm not doing CSS. You can make it look good. Okay, so now, so when admin is called, it should call the admin from the index from the admin, right? Because admin index will open the admin page, isn't it? So we will say admin, okay, admin colon. Okay, so this the admin from the index page from the admin will be open. Here it is our own app, basic app, right? We are doing in basic app. So this will call our page. Let's say we create a register page here, and this will be called. Okay, so index and register page will be called, and we have to do that. Okay, now this is when the user is not what is the logged in. Okay, so when you log into a website, okay, where you're not logged in, you will get register link. But when you log in, you should get log out. Not this. So what we'll do, we will create, okay, code, okay, where we will check if the user is authenticated or not, right? So I'm going to say, okay, if, let's put space, let's have a habit of putting space, if user dot is authenticated, this will come from admin module, okay, is authenticated, okay. If user is authenticated, then perform this, okay, else, okay, else perform this, and this is end of our end if. Okay, so if user is authenticated, then you will get a logout link. Okay, you can create what you want in the logout. So I'm going to copy this, going to it here as well as okay, and here I'll say login. Okay, if you are not login, so if you log in, and if you are already logged in, you will say logout, right? And okay, so we can say logout will come from app automatically, so we don't have to do that. But if you have to log in, you have to call the okay. So we'll create a user login option here. We will create it here. So we need to create all these HTML, right? So let's keep it like this for now. Okay, let's say we'll have some output to display. Okay, so let's have third block where we will have some output to display. Okay, so I'm going to say okay block um,
Content.
content or something. Yeah, I'm going to say content block or something. Okay, and percentage. Okay, and we will end it here for now. And block. So block is okay. So I think our base template is ready. If there's something else is there, we can come back and do it. Now we will create index.html, right? This file we need to create. Okay. So we go here. We have not registered template. We have to register template. Okay. So here we'll call it as index.html. Okay. What is the first line that we need to give? All these things we have to remove it because all these things are there in the base, right? So we don't have to give this basic thing. Okay, so we have to call the base.html extend, right? So percentage extends and base.html, right? We will add template. So from template it is just one level, right? So base.html, right? And we'll say this is done. Now we have to put the content. Okay, so we will say we'll add some content block. What was that? Content body, right? Content block. Sorry. So we'll add some content block here. Okay. We'll add the block and block. So in block is done. Okay. Now inside this we can do whatever, right? So I'm going to say this is in index, right? So h1 welcome to the basic web page, something like this. Okay, and if user is logged in, right? So we can give a customized message, right? So I'm going to say, okay, if user dot is authenticated, if user dot is authenticated, then this code will be executed. Otherwise, this code will be executed, and then you block the code, isn't it? End it. Okay, so I go here and we can give customized message, right? So we'll say h3 poll. Okay, we'll say welcome, or we'll say hi, and you can give the value. Okay, so we'll give the username, right? So user dot the text has username, right? That's the purpose we return the username. Okay, so hi user dot username. Okay, and else you can give a message saying okay, please log in to access our resources. Please log in or register, something like this. Okay, so that way you know that user is not logged in and the user is logged in. Okay, so this is what we will have in index. Okay, now I think template was already added, isn't it? Static. No, right? So where do we add template? This is okay. So let's do one thing. Let's go to the URLs. Okay, we haven't added the URLs, right? So let's go to URLs. Learn, right? URLs. Okay, admin is added. Now we need to add other things, right? What are the other things? Other things are your index. Path. When it is blank, open index, isn't it? So views dot index, comma. Oh, we need to import, right? Index. Then we'll say name equal to index, right? That's what we created. The view. Okay. So we need to go. Okay, we'll import. So we'll say here from dot models. Okay, not models, right? Directly we'll say import views. If I say because it's not in app, right? It's in sorry, it's in app, not in project. Okay. Okay. My mistake. This has to be in. Let's fix it. Okay. We don't have URLs here, right? Let's create a URL here in app. Okay. So you will say URLs dot py. Okay, and let's import from Django dot URLs import path. Okay, so this is it. Now import views, right? So this is it. Now we'll set the namespace. Okay. So when somebody calls basic app, this is the app that will be called, right? So I'm going to say app name equal to basic app. So this is the basic app. This is done. Now we will add our URL patterns, right? So URL patterns equal to, okay. First, we will add our register, admin module, and the login which we created, right? So I'm going to say path register, okay, and we'll say views dot register, and name is what? Register, right? That's what we give in the this thing. So this path now here, let's say we give for user login. Okay, so this is user login, and name is user login. We haven't done user login, right? We will be doing it. Okay, so this register is app, and now coming back here. So if we say from from basic app import you because basic app is the app, so this is giving error. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Because here we directly saying challenges, but here we want blank, right? So let's go here, check dot import. Okay, I think this is what we use. Yeah, now it should work. Okay, yeah, the error is gone. Okay, so index name equal to, where are we? Basic app, correct? And we go here. Yeah, okay. We are not using this here. Basic app, right? Wait, I think I made a mistake. No, I didn't. This is correct. And here I need to use the views, okay? That means if nobody enters anything, it should go to views.index. Okay. If I comment it, you get this error. Okay, let's see this. Do we get really this error? Okay, let's do make migration once. Views is not defined, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, let's stop here for today. I need to get into my meeting. So we'll continue tomorrow. Okay, we will fix this. Okay, I think we have not. My guess is that we have not registered right the template, but that should not be the problem. I think we'll have to import this directory. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do it tomorrow. We'll start. We'll continue from here tomorrow. Okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
But
sir.
what are we trying to do today?
Hmm.
What we try to do?
First we created a user profile, sir.
Correct.
Models.py. User
Right.
profile and image. User profile pic and upload pic. And
Right.
we admin we registered it, sir.
Yes.
And we created user class name, username, and class user profile, sir.
Correct.
And we created template folder, and we created index HTML.
Right. Right.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now we will see how to execute all these files. Right. So tomorrow we'll see how to add in the settings and execute these files. Okay. Okay. Then. Bye for now.